Soybeans are grown in nearly every county in Missouri on about 5 million acres each year. Their yields and value make them Missouri's top crop. The process begins with selecting seed. Farmers choose their seed based on a number of factors, from yield and pest resistance to maturity group and other specialty traits. Different types of soybeans are called varieties. Soybean seeds may be coated with a special treatment, such as fungicide, to give them an extra layer of protection as they're planted. Preparing the field can include tilling the soil, or farmers may choose to use no-till farming, where the soybeans are planted into the residue from the previous crop or cover crop. If there's a cover crop, farmers might terminate it so it doesn't take moisture and nutrients from the newly planted soybean crop. Farmers might also apply a residual herbicide to help the young soybean plants outcompete weeds. Depending on their location within Missouri, seed variety, and weather, farmers usually plant soybeans somewhere between late April and early July. Farmers consider many different factors when planting, including the depth at which the seed is planted and the width between rows. Farmers can fill their planters and drills from individual bags of seed or from large seed tenders. Seed tenders and high-capacity central fill planters, combined with other newer technology, allow growers to be more efficient. Some farmers add talc or graphite to their soybean seed to reduce friction and wear on parts during planting. Soybeans are most often planted using a planter or a drill that is pulled by a tractor. Farmers make a point to check the planting depth of their soybean seeds, making sure their planter or drill is adjusted properly to give the soybean plants the best start. GPS and other precision agriculture technology in tractors and planters help farmers be more efficient too, ensuring their fields are planted in straight rows that are properly spaced, and that only the number of seeds needed go into the soil. Many farmers rotate their soybean fields with corn or plant soybeans after wheat. Soybeans planted after wheat are often planted later in the spring or early summer. Once planted, soybean emergence can range from 3 days to 10, depending on many factors, including soil moisture, temperature, and other weather conditions. Soybean is a legume, which means it fixes nitrogen in the soil, leaving it behind for other plants. Soybeans don't need nitrogen fertilizer. During the growing season, farmers might apply pesticide to address pressure from insects or weeds. Some soybeans are tolerant to certain herbicides, giving farmers more options for fighting competition from weeds in the field. Scouting fields early and frequently is a great way to combat weeds, pests, and diseases. Farmers cannot properly treat a field unless they know what the challenges are. On average, soybean plants grow about 40 inches tall and have 40 to 50 pods of soybeans. Some plants can have 100 or more pods. Harvesting soybeans usually occurs from September through November. During this time, the fields turn from green to brown as the soybean plants and beans lose moisture. Ideally, farmers harvest soybeans at about 13% moisture. A combine is used to harvest the soybeans. The combine stores up the beans and discards the rest. The stems, pods, and other parts of the plant are left behind to help the next crop. On average, soybeans in Missouri yield about 45 bushels per acre. Some farmers have had yields of more than 100 bushels per acre under ideal conditions. After harvest, beans are sent directly for processing or are stored in bins owned by farmers themselves, co-ops, or grain merchandising companies. Missouri soybeans are transported by truck, train, and barge. About 55% are transported by truck, 24% by rail, and 20% by barge. Soybeans are transported within the state, across the U.S., and around the world to the people and livestock who will use them. The Missouri Soybean Merchandising Council works with farmers, agribusinesses, and other friends of the farmer year-round to ensure a bright future for all involved with producing soybeans in Missouri. To learn more about soybean production in Missouri, visit the Missouri Soybean Merchandising Council online at mosoy.org.